This is another temple of the gods. It is one temple built upon the other.
The ruins are set on 12-meter cliffs along the Caribbean shoreline of the Yucatan Peninsula. Tulum was one of the last cities built by the Mayas and was occupied for about 70 years, even after the Spanish occupation. By the late 16th century, it was completely abandoned.
Today we are at one of the most visited archaeological sites in Mexico. It's called Tulum. Tulum means walled city. Prior to that it was called Zama, and Zama means place of the morning sun, city of dawn. You can see around us the number of visitors we have here today. It's not as big as Chichen Itza, but it is very much visited. Today we're gonna take a tour to see what remains of that ancient city, the port city of Tulum. This was a gateway to the other cities of the Yucatan Peninsula. It was a port city and it was a main trading post in its time.
It was in the year 1518 that Juan Diaz, the first European, would have spotted this ancient city. Some restorative works have been done years after early inhabitants would have left. Studies here have also found that Tulum was occupied for a long time, even during the post-classic period around AD 1200. The carvings and depictions on the murals and other works around the site. The worship of the diving or descending god in Tulum shows this to have been an important place of worship. This structure consists of a single room with a door to the west and a narrow staircase that was built on top of another temple that served as its base. In the niche located at the top of the door stands a sculpture that is found throughout Tulum. It has wings, headdress, and holds an object in his hands, the descending god. The Castillo. It appears that the construction of the Castillo may have happened in stages and is placed at a spot where it can be used as a beacon for incoming canoes. Here there is a cove and a landing beach in the break of the sea cliffs that would have been perfect for trading canoes coming in. This is one of the characteristics making Tulum a prominent trading port during the late post-classic period. Both coastal and land routes converged at Tulum, where the number of artifacts found show that contacts were made with areas from all over Mexico and Central America. Flint artifacts, ceramics, incense burners, and gold objects from across Yucatan made their way here, while salt and textiles were incoming goods which were dispersed inland. Imagine, in the midst of these trading activities, the different worlds which would have met here and mixed and intermingled and marked the passage of time.
This is a wonderful place to visit and enjoy the breeze and contemplate, reflect back on what may have happened here so many centuries ago.
We've come to the end of a short visit to Tulum, which for me is another unique experience of having walked upon the paths where men would have walked so many centuries before. From here, the journey takes us down to Playa del Carmen. Keep me company, please. A short walk, and we are witnessing one of the many beaches washed by the Caribbean Sea. It is pleasing to the eye to look across the fine white sands and vastness of the turquoise waters, decorated with white-capped waves. It's pleasing to listen to the music of the waves, the squeals of the excited kids around, to feel the ocean wind on my face, feel the sun on my back, and suddenly a sense of being so free. It's pleasing to see the gulls floating lazily above the water's edge, waiting for scraps of food to be thrown at them, which I quickly dive to grab. I savored that moment. On my way to Quinta Avenida, which is the central point of Playa del Carmen, I am treated to a display of a Mexican folkloric dance. Now there are several types of folkloric dance forms of Mexico. This one seems to be a merge of indigenous, European, and maybe African forms. The dance moves were lively and energetic, with much feet tapping. I'm not sure if the width of the female dancer's skirt kept the gent at bay. He seems to be a whole mile away. He didn't even touch the lady's hand until the very end of the dance. Quinta Avenida, translated as Fifth Avenue, is a very short walk from the beach. It is a highly commercial area. Many different restaurants, clothes stores, boutiques, bars, art galleries, and yes, nightclubs. A hype of activities could be witnessed. The pathway was noticeably tiled, not many like I've seen before. Playa del Carmen was called Samanja by the Mayans who inhabited this place many centuries ago, meaning waters from the north. Later, the Spanish conquistadors arrived and set up a settlement in 1526, and sometime after the name was changed. And here we have the emblematic piece depicting the meeting of man and woman, the symbol of love. And then suddenly I was drawn to the distinct music of a flute and drumming. Yes, the Danza de los Voladores, or Palo Volador. The dance of the flyers, or the pole dancer. I have read a little bit about this in my first year at secondary school. I can remember distinctly the picture of the dancers on that pole. This ritual consists of dance and the climbing of an almost 100-foot pole, from which 4 of the 5 participants launch themselves with ropes tied to their waists to descend to the ground. They swing in a circular manner many times around this pole. The 5th remains on top playing a flute and drum, and the music will only stop when all the dancers land on the ground. According to myth, the ritual was created to appease the gods to end a severe drought. It is believed to be of Aztec origin. Today, this ceremony is named as an intangible cultural event by UNESCO in order to help it survive in the modern world. Right next door, a lot more is happening. Another indigenous dance. The movements are short and brisk. I am not sure if they tell a story or fashion a message, but it adds to a pleasant afternoon. This dancer tells me that she practices her craft on this very spot twice per week. Her smile says it's fun, especially with the tips to go with it. Oh, these ladies are found in several places here in Quintana Roo. Any guess what we are saying to each other? That's all for now, folks. Until next time.